Welcome to Classified Capsule, where we uncover the untold stories of history's most notorious figures. Today we delve into the early life of Elizabeth Bathory, the Blood Countess, whose dark legacy has fascinated and horrified people for centuries. Let's explore the formative years that shaped one of history's most infamous figures. Let's get started. Early family life. Elizabeth Bathory was born into a powerful and influential family. She was the daughter of George Bathory and Anna Bathory, both of noble Hungarian descent. The Bathory family was a significant political force in the Kingdom of Hungary, and Elizabeth's early environment was one of privilege and influence. Elizabeth's father, George Bathory, was a notable military leader and a diplomat who served the Habsburg monarchy. Her mother, Anna Bathory, came from the equally prominent Bathory family, known for their vast estates and political connections. This noble lineage provided Elizabeth with a powerful position and access to considerable resources, which would later play a significant role in her life. Elizabeth's childhood was marked by a series of tragic events that would later influence her psychological development. Her father passed away when she was just 4 years old, leaving her mother to raise her and her siblings alone. This early loss of a parental figure may have contributed to the instability in her early years, although she continued to grow up in the lap of luxury. Education and upbringing. Elizabeth's upbringing was influenced heavily by her family's status. She was educated by private tutors, who were hired to ensure that she received a comprehensive education befitting her noble status. Her education included subjects such as languages, literature, and the arts, reflecting the importance placed on intellectual development for the nobility. However, Elizabeth's education went beyond the conventional curriculum. She was also exposed to the darker aspects of life, including the harsh realities of politics and power. The Bathory family was known for its involvement in the political and military conflicts of the region, and Elizabeth's education included an understanding of these complex dynamics. Additionally, Elizabeth's upbringing involved learning the practical skills required to manage the vast estates that she would one day inherit. This included knowledge of estate management, legal affairs, and the handling of household staff. Elizabeth's training prepared her to become a competent and influential figure within the Bathory family's extensive network. Marital alliances and political influence. Elizabeth's marriage at the age of 15 was a significant event that shaped her future. In 1575 she married Ferenc Nadasdy, a prominent and wealthy Hungarian nobleman. Ferenc Nadasdy was known for his military prowess and his role as a soldier in the wars against the Ottoman Empire. His marriage to Elizabeth was both a strategic and political alliance, enhancing the power and influence of both families. The Nadasdy marriage provided Elizabeth with additional resources and political connections. Ferenc's wealth and status further elevated Elizabeth's position in Hungarian society. The couple had several children together, and Elizabeth's role as a mother and wife was closely intertwined with her political and social responsibilities. Elizabeth's marriage to Ferenc Nadasdy was marked by mutual respect and collaboration. The couple managed their estates together and shared a deep involvement in the political and military affairs of the region. Ferenc's career as a soldier and his military campaigns provided Elizabeth with a broader perspective on the complexities of power and conflict. Influence of personal tragedies. Several personal tragedies and experiences during Elizabeth's early life may have influenced her psychological development and behavior later in life. The loss of her father at a young age, the challenges of managing a vast estate, and the demands of her marriage to a prominent nobleman all contributed to her evolving personality. In addition to personal losses, Elizabeth was also exposed to the harsh realities of life in the 16th century. The political and military conflicts of the time, including the wars against the Ottoman Empire, had a profound impact on Elizabeth's worldview. The constant presence of violence and instability in her environment may have contributed to the development of her later criminal behavior. Elizabeth's early exposure to power, privilege, and violence played a significant role in shaping her character. Her noble background provided her with the resources and opportunities to pursue her darker inclinations, while her experiences with personal and political challenges influenced her psychological development. the transition to a notorious figure. Elizabeth Bathory's early life set the stage for her later actions and the dark legacy that would follow her. Her upbringing in a powerful and influential family, combined with her education, marriage, and exposure to personal tragedies, contributed to the development of her character and the eventual crimes for which she would become infamous. The transition from a privileged noblewoman to a notorious figure in history involved a complex interplay of personal, social, and political factors. Elizabeth's early life, characterized by wealth, power, and exposure to the harsh realities of her time, played a crucial role in shaping the person she would become. The allegations. Elizabeth Bathory's crimes are shrouded in legend and myth, but historical records and trials provide a chilling account of her alleged activities. The most notorious claim is that Bathory tortured and killed young girls, supposedly believing that bathing in their blood would maintain her youth and beauty. This gruesome belief was said to be the driving force behind her actions, although the exact nature of these practices remains debated. The accusations against Bathory were brought to light in the early 17th century. By 1610, a series of investigations into her activities had been initiated by the Hungarian authorities. These investigations were prompted by complaints from local families and reports from her own staff, who described horrifying scenes of torture and murder. The most frequently cited source of these allegations comes from the testimony of her servants and other witnesses. Many claimed that Bathory's crimes took place at her castle in Cachtice, where she reportedly had secret chambers used for torturing her victims. According to these accounts, Bathory and her accomplices would lure young girls to the castle under the guise of offering employment or shelter, only to subject them to brutal torture and execution. Methods of torture and execution attributed to Bathory are as shocking as they are brutal. Witnesses and historical records describe various forms of torture that Bathory allegedly employed. These included: first, beatings and starvation. Victims were reportedly beaten and starved as a form of punishment and control. These methods were designed to inflict maximum suffering before death. Second, burning and maiming. Some accounts describe Bathory's use of hot irons and other implements to burn and mutilate her victims. These methods were intended to cause prolonged pain and suffering. Third, impalement. In some cases, victims were allegedly impaled, a gruesome method of execution that involved forcing a stake through the body. Finally, blood bathing, the most infamous and enduring claim. It is said that Bathory bathed in the blood of virgins, believing that it would grant her eternal youth and beauty. This claim, however, is controversial and has been the subject of much debate among historians. The descriptions of these methods come from various sources, including the confessions of Bathory's servants, testimonies of local witnesses, and the records of the investigations conducted by the authorities. Elizabeth Bathory's life of privilege and power began to unravel in the early 17th century. By 1610, rumors of her cruelty and the mysterious disappearances of young girls began to circulate. The discontent among the local population and the growing concerns of Bathory's own servants contributed to the increasing scrutiny of her activities. The first significant blow to Bathory's standing came with the complaints of local families. Reports of missing girls and disturbing rumors about Bathory's castle began to spread. These complaints were initially dismissed, but the mounting evidence and persistent allegations led to a more serious investigation. In 1610, King Matthias II of Hungary, concerned about the accusations against Bathory, appointed a commission to investigate the matter. The commission, led by Moses Cheraki, a lawyer and government official, began gathering evidence and interviewing witnesses. The investigation revealed disturbing accounts of torture and murder, but Bathory's high status and political connections initially shielded her from immediate consequences. The investigation into Elizabeth Bathory's crimes was thorough and conducted by a commission of experts. The testimonies collected during the investigation painted a grim picture of life at Bathory's castle. Witnesses described scenes of extreme brutality, including torture, mutilation, and murder. The evidence presented during the investigation included detailed accounts from Bathory's own servants, who testified about the methods of torture employed and the gruesome nature of the crimes. These testimonies were crucial in building the case against Bathory and her accomplices. The trial itself was shrouded in secrecy and political maneuvering. Bathory was never put on trial in a traditional sense. Instead, she was subjected to a form of house arrest while the authorities collected evidence against her. The trial proceedings were marked by a complex interplay of political interests and legal considerations. Bathory's case was not only a legal matter but also a political one. The involvement of powerful families and influential figures in the investigation and trial added layers of complexity to the proceedings. Despite her high status, Bathory's case eventually became a matter of public interest and scandal. In 1611, after a lengthy investigation and gathering of evidence, Elizabeth Bathory was found guilty of numerous crimes, including murder and torture. The sentence, however, was somewhat unusual given the severity of the accusations. Bathory was not executed but instead sentenced to life imprisonment. The decision to imprison Bathory rather than execute her was influenced by various factors, including her noble status and the political implications of her case. Bathory was confined to a suite of rooms in her castle at Cachtice, where she remained under house arrest until her death. The conditions of Bathory's imprisonment were relatively comfortable compared to the harshness of medieval dungeons. She lived in isolation from the outside world, and her confinement was intended to ensure that she could not continue her alleged criminal activities. Bathory's imprisonment marked the end of her public life and the culmination of her downfall. The once powerful and influential figure was reduced to a state of confinement, her former status and influence stripped away. Her isolation and imprisonment reflected the dramatic shift from her previous life of privilege and power. Elizabeth Bathory's downfall had a lasting impact on both her immediate environment and the broader historical narrative. Her case became a symbol of extreme cruelty and the abuse of power, and her legacy has continued to fascinate and horrify people for centuries. The scandal surrounding Bathory's crimes highlighted issues of power, privilege, and justice within the Hungarian nobility. Her case raised questions about the extent of cruelty that individuals could inflict upon others and the challenges of holding powerful figures accountable for their actions. In popular culture, Elizabeth Bathory's story has inspired numerous books, films, and other media. Her legacy as the Blood Countess has become a symbol of extreme villainy and has contributed to her enduring notoriety. The dramatic nature of her downfall and the alleged crimes associated with her have made her a subject of fascination and horror. Historians continue to debate the accuracy of the accounts of Bathory's crimes. Some scholars argue that the allegations against her were exaggerated or politically motivated, while others maintain that there is sufficient evidence to support the claims of her brutality. The true extent of Bathory's actions remains a subject of ongoing research and discussion. Elizabeth Bathory's downfall, marked by her imprisonment and the scandal surrounding her case, serves as a powerful reminder of the consequences of unchecked power and the complexities of justice in historical contexts. Her story continues to be a cautionary tale and a subject of fascination for those interested in the darker aspects of history. Thank you for watching this episode of Classified Capsule. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into history's dark past. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest content. See you next time.